This is a Blender Python tutorial where we'll be creating this abstract animation loop with a Python script. We'll use some setup code to jump in straight into the interesting part of writing the script, and if you stick around, I'll show you how you can tweak the different parameters of the script to get a different result. Hi, I'm Victor Stepanoff. I'll be guiding you through this Blender Python tutorial. Let's jump in straight into the tutorial. To start off, we'll need to have some helper code that's going to help us set up the scene and a bit of the background. In the description, under Start Code, you'll find a link to this helper code. Open that link in any browser. Once that's open, hit this raw button here, hit Control A and then Control C to copy, and then head back into Blender. Open the scripting workspace, hit New right here, and then paste in that code that you just copied from that website. Let's straight away make sure to save this by hitting text right here, save, and then saving to a folder that you feel comfortable saving the script. I'm just gonna use my tutorial folder, and I'm gonna name the file ring.py. I'm gonna hit save, and also I'll save the project itself. All right, once that's done, we can go ahead and run the script. The script is gonna clean the scene and set up some background. So I ran the script, and as you can see, the scene has a camera set up, the light. You can also look into the outliner, empty that the camera is tracking, a plane for the floor, and this emissive ring right here. So I'm gonna hit Z over the viewport and set material preview. And you can see that there's some emissive material here. All right, this is gonna help us jump straight into the interesting part of creating the script. To start off with, let's create a ring mesh. Let's hover over the 3D viewport and press Control Space. And let's do this by hand. So I'm going to press Shift A, then Mesh, and Circle. I'm going to have a circle mesh right here. I'm going to set the vertices to 128. And I'll also convert this mesh into a curve. All right, let's go back. Now I want to set the bevel. So open the curve. Properties, geometry right here, and let's set this bevel depth and resolution to 16. All right. Also, I'll shade smooth, and that's it. So these are the basic steps that we'll do to create our ring mesh. If you've watched my video about repeating code with for loops, you'll notice that it is a similar method that we used in that video. I would recommend you watch that video if you want some more explanations about this process. I go into a bit more detail. With that done, the great thing about Blender is that we can copy most of these operations from the info panel. So let's just do that. So right here below, we have all the operations that we just did, and let's just go ahead and copy them over into our script. So the first one was creating the circle mesh. I'm just going to hit Control C and then Control V, paste right here. I'm going to select the extra code, so I'm going to hit Shift and then the End key to select everything, and then delete everything we don't need. So we only need the verts and the radius. All right. The next thing that we did is we converted our mesh into a curve. After that, we set the bevel and the resolution of the bevel and shaded smooth. Let's just copy that over as well. So copy and paste it over. Make sure to indent this code. To manipulate our mesh that we added, we need to get the current active object. So right after we create this circle mesh, we need to get a reference to this mesh and allow Python to manipulate the different parameters on this mesh. So I'm going to go into the interactive Python console right here and type in BPY context and then active and then object. All right, so I hit tab to have this autocomplete so you can see what commands are available for us, and I hit enter after I'm done. So as you can see right now, it's highlighting. After I hit enter, it gave me the circle object. You could see the same circle object here. Let's just copy this code right here and paste it in right underneath our creation code. So let's create a variable that we'll be using to reference our object. So I'm gonna call it ring obj, and now we can actually, let me just run this code right now, and it's gonna do the exact same thing. You won't really see the difference because it's adding the same mesh with the same bevel. So let's just change this just a bit to 0.5. So watch carefully when I run it, it's gonna shrink the bevel, right? And let me actually even move it. So I'm gonna hit select the object, press press G to move it. Let's hide this and let me run the script. And yeah, let me run the script because it's white, you can't really see. Okay, here we go. As you can see, the bevel shrinks, right? And there's only one object here, right? With that bevel that we just set. All right. In reality, we can, instead of using this, which references the current active object, we can use the reference we created right here and just replace this part right here. All right. So these are operations that are done on our object, right? So they're not really modifying the data. They're just like commands. So you can't really replace the BPY ops. Also, let's set the name of our ring and use the name property and just use these quotes to provide a string for the name. Let's run this code right here. And as you can see, you could look into the outliner and we have a ring right here. All right, now let's apply a material to our ring. So I'm going to use two helper functions that are already defined above in the helper function section of the script. And one of them is creating a material and another one is applying that material. So I'm just going to scroll up and find the create a metal ring material, copy that right there, and just right above the creation of our mesh, I'm going to paste that right here, create a variable to reference this material. Remember, we need variables to reference things in Python. And at the very bottom, after shading smooth, there is also another helper function. I'm going to scroll up again and find it somewhere here. Okay, it's right here. It's apply material, or we just add the material that is passed into this function to the currently active object, right? So let me just scroll, let me just zoom in right here and let's rerun the script. And there was an error, and the error is that I'm not using, so I created a variable ring material, but I'm passing in a material variable that is not, it's not defined, right? We haven't anywhere in this code written down or created this variable, so we need to update that. Let's run it again. And as you can see, it applied this metallic material. Let's run it again, and there you go. Let's remember to keep things organized in our script and create a separate function that creates our ring mesh right here. So let's just copy or let's cut this code by hitting Control X, going right here and defining a new function. So def and create a ring, and that's a way that you define a function. And just I'm gonna hit Control V to paste in the code that I just cut out below. All right, so in this function we're using the ring material, so we need to pass it into here like so, and then we would want to call this function down below. So let's just do that. Let's hit that, and as you can see, it still continues to work. Let's I'm going to add a hash character to comment out this code, so making this invisible to Python if I run the script again and nothing gets generated. So let me remove that. Also, I want to be able to control the radius of the circle mesh that we're creating here. I'm going to create a new variable. I'm actually create a parameter. So call out current radius and then set it here. And we also will need to pass it in when we call this function down below. So let's call that. Let's set it to, I don't know, 2, for example, and check it. All right. All right, now we're ready to repeat this code over and over again. We'll be using a Python for loop to do just that. So let's go into the create centerpiece and write a for loop. So for I in range. And then I'm going to select these 2 lines and hit tab to indent both of them at the same time. And let's write 50 to repeat this 50 times. Let's run that. And you might have noticed that nothing really changed in the scene because we're creating the same ring with the same radius over and over again. If you go into the outliner, you can actually see that we have more than one ring here, and to be exact 50 rings. All right, let's create a separate variable to hold the number of rings we want to create. So instead of having just 50 right here, we're just going to put it into a variable so we can kind of document what we're doing here. And like so. Also, notice that I set the creation of the material outside of the for loop. And this was not done by accident. If we put it inside of the for loop, we're going to be creating 50 materials and applying that to each of our rings, right? Maybe you want to do that, and I would actually encourage you to try that out. But I'm going to leave it outside so we only create one material that's going to be getting applied to all the rings that we create. Now let's create a radius step to start controlling the radius of each of these rings for each iteration. So let's create a radius step right here and set it to that. And we're gonna multiply this by I, so I is coming from here, right? Let me show you. I'm going to paste this into the interactive Python console. I'm going to actually need to wrap it into a list. Yeah, so we don't have we don't have this number of rings defined, so I'm just going to write 50 to make it easier. And as you can see, like this range right here will give us 50 numbers from 0 to 49. So this I will go from 0 to 49. All right, let's run our script. And now you can see that we have our rings. Let me also use the I as part of the name of our ring. I'm going to pass it in as a parameter. Probably name it index, and I'm going to use the formatting to use that right here in the string. Right, let's run that, and now you can see we have numbers like going right after the name of ring. So also the order of these parameters doesn't really matter, and so we can change it like this, and not forget to update this as well, because we rearranged these arguments. So let's run it, and you can see it continues to work. Now we'll need to start setting the rotation of these rings. To do that, we'll be using the rotation Euler property. To get access to, or get an example of how you use it, we can just select one of these rings and then rotate them by some degrees. Then we can just collapse this. You can see the ring is rotated, and in the bottom info panel right here, we're going to have this particular command that's going to rotate the ring. Right, let's just work with that in the interactive Python console. Instead of this these square brackets in one, we can use y, like the name properties like x, y, and z. I like this a lot more because this is a lot more readable. And you can notice that after that, like we're setting the rotation by some like decimal point number. That's radians, and you can actually hover over the rotation right here and see the radians for this rotation in degrees is 42 degrees, is this 0.7 radians, right? To get that, we will need to use the math module that extends Python. Well, just like Blender has add-ons that extend Blender, Python has modules that you can import and extend Blender's functionality. Also, you can download these modules to, there's a huge community of people in Python writing these, and you can almost find a module for any problem you have. All right, import math. So we're importing math, and in particular in math, we need to use the radians. So I'm hitting again tab to get like this documentation, right? So we need to pass degrees. So I'm going to pass in, let's actually pass 42, similar to what we did just above, right? And it's returning the 0.7 that we had in the info panel. We don't really need to import math because you can scroll up at the top of the script. It already is importing that for us, so we don't need to worry about it. But we do need to write this right here. Just copy that from the interactive Python console. Since we're working with the rings, we need to get that ring, get that reference to that, the variable that's referencing the ring back from the function, right? So this function gets some parameters, and at the very end, we want to return, right? We're returning what we created here. So this variable right here, we want to get that back to the calling function, and that's right here, right? So after calling this, we're going to get a reference to a ring object, and we can actually, instead of using this, we can replace that with just the reference to our object, and we can use the like the radians right here. Remember, we can just copy that right like so. We can create a new variable actually. Instead of doing that, we can just really document what we're doing. So let's go with degrees, and let's set it to 0 for now, and just copy this here, and let's run the script. This won't do anything because we're just rotating by 0. And so let's create some variables that are going to control the rotation on the Z and Y axis, right? So that's so instead of this, let's use this, and let's just copy over that code for Z. So let's just switch that up. All right, let's run this, and you can see that the rings turned. Now let's slightly tweak the rotation about the Z axis on each iteration. We'll need to create another variable, just like the one that we did for like radius step. Now we're going to create a step for the Z rotation, right? And then set it to, I think, 10, and right below. So after we're done creating and rotating, we're gonna calculate the next. So this is going to be the next value for the Z rotation. We're going to take that and then add the step. Let's run the script. Oh, and you can see that we're slightly rotating on each iteration. If you're learning something new today, make sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comments. You could also DM me on Instagram and Twitter at CGPython. Now it's time to start animating the rotations on these rings. Before we do that, let's update our workspace to have the timeline so we can see the keyframes. I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to set it like so. To insert keyframes, we would need to find the function that does that through Python. Let's use the interactive Python console and type in keyframe and then insert. And you can see when I press tab to complete it, I'll get a doc string right here that has a lot of information. You can read through that to see the different parameters that this function has. And we'll be interested in the data path in particular and frame. So let's do that. Let's just copy this. Oh, actually, let me just do it right in their interactive Python console. So the data path is, in short, the path that we're going to be animating, and in particular, for our case, it's the rotation Euler data path. And we need the frame number, and let's set it to 33 just to make the point. Just gonna move this a bit, and I'm gonna hit enter, and you can see that we just added a keyframe with Python. All right, so we're just gonna take this code right here, just copy that and paste it underneath here. So I'm going to create a variable start frame. I'm going to use that to set it to 1. And let's run our script. And you can see if you select every one of these rings at this point, every single one of them will have a frame at the beginning. Now let's modify the rotation before we create another keyframe. I'm just going to copy the code that sets the original rotation and update this. I'm gonna set the rotation to whatever the rotation was on Y, and then plus 360, and then do the same thing for Z. And actually I'm gonna multiply that by 2, so we're gonna rotate twice. All right, let's run the script. And as you can see, nothing really changed because we're rotating 360, so it's going to be a seamless loop. It's going to end up where it started, and we can insert the last keyframe. And to get the last keyframe, we need to know the length of our animation. If we scroll up to the setup scene, we're setting some parameters. For example, we're setting the frames per second. This is just a variable. We actually set the frames in the setup scene props right here. So it's scene render FPS. But in particular, we have the frame count that we calculate just by multiplying the number of seconds in our loop and the FPS. Then we save it into this dictionary called context. And in particular, we have this frame count. So we save it into here, and the setup scene is called right in our main function. So this first function that gets called, get this context, and we pass it in to create the centerpiece. And this is particular right here, right? So we have the context. So now let's use that context. In particular, the frame count dictionary value, and we're going to set it to +1. So 1 frame right after the end frame. Let's set this, and let's run our script. All right, I think at this point, if we select any of the rings, we have a keyframe at the beginning and 1 frame past the end. I'm gonna hit Control Space to get a closer view, and I'm gonna hit space to start the animation. And you can see that the animation starts slow, then speeds up, and then slows down again. To fix that, we need to set the interpolation of the keyframes to linear, and we have a special helper function for us to do that. So let's use that. I'm gonna hit pause on the animation, and I'm gonna just scroll up and find that function. All right, it's right here. It just goes over all the animation F curves and sets the interpolation to linear. So let's do just that right here. Let's rerun our script. And let's take a closer look and see if it fixes the problem. And let's see on the timeline. And as you can see, it's seamless. Great. Let's keep things organized and create a separate function to set that rotation and insert the keyframes. Let's select the code that does just that, and then hit Control X to cut that code, and go up here and define a new function, animate rotation, and I'll select all of this. This is this has too much indentation. I'm going to hit Shift Tab to twice, or actually 3 times, and then Tab again to align it nice and just right. We're in this function. We're using context. We're also using the ring object, the Z rotation, right, and the Y rotation. So again, let's just copy this and use it right here. So now see all of that functionality is hidden in this function call. Let's run, actually let's just comment that. Right, nothing is getting rotated. I hit space, nothing is animating. Let's uncomment this and hit space, and as you can see, all that functionality is now nicely stored in a function. And as promised, we're going to go over some of the places in this particular script that you can change to make different scenes. I highly recommend you go and do this so you can understand the different parts of this script and take away a better understanding overall. Let's just start in the centerpiece function that we're working on. The obvious things to change is the different rotations and the steps that you can use. Maybe adding another Y step right here. It would be interesting to see how you could use that and modify the Y rotation. Maybe moving this create material into the loop and create a new material for every single ring. Looking into the rotation, changing up the number of degrees that the rotation is going to be set when we set the last frame. Something else you could change is in the set scene props, we're actually, if you notice, we're using cycles as the rendering engine. And if you have a GPU, you probably want to uncomment GPU and maybe set the samples to something a bit bigger. And don't forget to comment this, because if you leave this code right here, it'll just overwrite what you just did. So remember to comment that. Another thing that you can check out is how the different materials, the ring, the emissive ring, the metal, and the floor material are created, modifying these default values to something that you'll find interesting. So you can play around with these parts. Also, this get random color. So I'm just using some of the colors I usually use for tutorials. You should consider creating your own palette and adding that and seeing how easy that is. Setting the resolution and also maybe changing the position of the camera. So right now the camera is, I'm pressing num 0 on the numpad, and you can see that this is how the camera is set up. You could go into the setup scene, and we have the location and rotation of the camera right here, so you can play around with that to get a different angle. All right, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure to subscribe for more tutorials like this.